Esports. When you're considering their playstyle up against Divine Esports in the past, they picked up the Ziggs and Braum, and they're gonna pick it up once again. This is a great. You have Braum as the peeler for Ziggs, and Ziggs is just poking out damage in the far side back when it comes to those team fights with Kaisa, but being hovered here for the 4th pick here for Boom.
This is exciting, Riku.
Yeah, very
because,
understandable.
Like, the Jarvan can still be flexed, right? We have seen him play in the top lane as well as in the jungle.
Yeah, exactly. This could still be top. This could still be towards Xiaoqi. But yeah, I understand the Braum pick here because look at Divine. Azaya Rakan, this could be a very all-in composition. Literally just press R or just dive in and Boom Esports. The biggest question is, will the Braum disengage be enough? So we'll see what Gov, or rather, what the jungle or top pick will be because Riven is still open. And the biggest question is, will Jarvan 4 allow Xiaoqi to get that early game for the rest of the squad?
Well, it looks like it's gonna be Darius. We keep on constantly bringing this up. Yesterday, you specifically talked about it, how Darius can match up against Renekton in this early game fight in a 1v1 basis. So we'll see how it's gonna turn out because it's looking Darius and Renekton individual matchup in the Baron lane.
Yeah, it's a very small window, pre-level 3. Will Tufts be able to match 10x, or will the junglers just try to relieve pressure? Because both of these junglers, level 3, are going to be incredibly strong. It synergizes well with their junglers as well. But I feel like the biggest issue here for Boom Esports is that Coyote is going to be on the Galio. So I can imagine 2-man collapse dive on towards Tufts, and that is definitely looking to be, well, tough.
I mean, what I'm seeing really from this one here, Riku, is just a jungler's dream. It's a paradise, really. I mean, you can look mid lane, fantastic setup. You can go top lane and bot lane. Pretty much wherever they want to go, there is CC to start things off. There is CC to complement things. There is the layering. There is the guaranteed damage that's going to come out as well. So I don't really see a particular angle that I prefer to right now. I mean, quick final thoughts before we go to the casters. Who do you think won the draft?
Okay, you go first.
Drinks. There you go.
I think it's going to be Boom Esports staying ahead a bit onto the draft pick here. Okay. But I think a lot of expectation to level 3. I think both junglers will come up mid lane to try and pressure in.
For me, it's going to be Divine. Len is on a Lee Sin. There's this all-in composition as well. Just heavy dive, and I think that's really, really going to be scary.
Well, we got ourselves a split desk already going into game number 1 of the night. It's time to throw to our casting team. It's TJ and Omo.
Thank you very much, Skimmy, and I'm glad you have a split desk over there because I think this is going to be a hell of a series, and in preparation for that, I've got myself a chair. I'm sitting down now, Omo.
TJ, things are looking good for you. You're moving up in the world.
Yeah, before I did this series yesterday, I couldn't afford a chair, I couldn't afford a desk. But 2 days ago, I did my series. Yeah. I got paid for it. I went out. First thing I did, bought myself a chair, sat down. I was like, this is what it's like. This is how people are living. And I've never gone back.
I mean, you won't have to now. We're moving up in the world, and we've got some great games coming up for you guys as well. I'm excited for this one, TJ. More excited than you are for your desk and your chair.
Let's talk about Boom versus Divine, because it should be an incredible series. The desk was split, Omo. I've talked to you before the series, though. You had a very firm opinion. You thought Divine were set for this game. You thought it was going to be very easy for them. Does this draft change your opinion?
You're putting words in my mouth here. I don't think it's going to be easy for Divine. I love Boom. I think they have some good points here and there, but I will stick with it. This is going to be a 3-0 for Divine. They deserved, but they not deserved, right? But they should have 3-0'd them last time, and they will 3-0 them this time.
All right.
Starting from the first blood.
Oh my god, the easy knockout. There it is. Divine first blood. All right, Omo. You can keep talking now.
Yeah, it's that easy. It's that easy. Easy for Divine.
They find the opener. Let's maybe reset a little bit to this draft as the 2v2 duel in the middle of the map does continue. Let's start there. Coyote playing Galio into Ziggs, just kind of the ultimate in defensive picks.
Yeah, I mean, I like Coyote on an enabler, and I think when we saw the interview, or not the interview rather, but the video from Coyote rather, he was talking about how he failed to lead his team and to make his team comfortable to play their first match against Boom. And I think that picking up this Galio here today really indicates that, you know what, I'm going to be the leader that my team needs. I am going to be all over the map. I'm going to out-TT you guys, I'm going to save you guys, I'm going to do the engaging. I'm going to be the leader. And I think for a young team like Divine, that's exactly what they need. And I have a lot of respect for Coyote for having this mindset and for stepping up.
And the other thing we said kind of needed to change between the first match between Divine and Boom, the upset win that Boom got, and this next one, was we needed to see Len the jungler step up a little bit. And if you take a look at your map right now, Len did just complete an invade. I believe he did steal away Boom's blue buff. So he's already showing some aggression.
Yeah, and he has his bottom lane to help him out as well, right? I think in some of the series we saw yesterday, the jungle differentials really came down to support differential and laner difference. If your support moves first, which is exactly okay, and lane goes in.
What on earth is this? Owens behind the tier 1 will be shut down by Len. That's what we were waiting for.
Yeah, and that was Lan working so well together with his bottom lane, Quer as well as Hope, just playing in tandem with their jungler, what he wants to do aggressively on the map. We talk about how Lan, gets taken a bit low here, Coyote. We talked about how Lan is kind of an enabler for this team and how his solo laners like to play very aggressive and he enables that. Well, you also need to enable your jungler so that he can enable you. It's a help me help you situation, right? And his bottom lane has done exactly that.
Go thinking about stopping Len's back there.
He should have.
I mean,
a bit slow on the uptick.
Do you really win that fight though?
It's about sending a message, then you just jump away to
okay. I mean, I'm with you. If I'm there, I throw the the little poke into that bush.
100%, and we might
Winter's
see more
Bite. Taunt will land here.
Love it.
And Fly Arthur's in huge trouble. Len will get the kill, easy as pie. And Zhao Qi could do nothing but look on.
Yep, very good stuff from Divine. That was played picture perfect. Couldn't be any better. I think the comms went something along the lines of Coyote saying, you know what? I traded my barrier for this guy's flash. This Ziggs just flashed on me to try to solo kill me, which makes no sense at all because that's not what you should be trying to do in this matchup. The moment he has no flash, he calls for Lan. Commit, I'll flash on him. No counterplay. And they just chain their CC perfectly. I love how Lan used the kick to ensure that Fly Arthur, no chance to move. No chance to even pop barrier. Just gets taken down. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. This is the Divine that I want to see.
And looking at this, it's much more reminiscent of the Divine that dominated their local bracket in the Vietnam region. We were hyping up on day number 1, if you remember. We said that we thought Divine might be one of the teams to go all the way in this tournament and compete top 4. And then they immediately got smashed by Boom, and we looked rather silly. This is a little bit more on 4.
Yes, exactly. And I remember on day 1 as well, since you brought that up, our good friend Grandin was constantly saying how Vietnam is the best region here. Any one of these teams can make it far. They're the best region. They're so stacked. And I think we're starting to see that with Team Flash, with Divine. Let's just pretend Saigon Phantom don't exist. But these two teams have been stepping up.
Set up here for the Drake. Zhao Qi in the area. Mega Inferno Bomb to try and burn it down. And Zhao Qi wants the steal. An excellent Blade Caller, though, stops the play in its tracks. And here's the front line with Coyote's heroic entrance already splitting the fight and a double kill on the cleanup. Passed over to Todd X. Gov will try and push forward with Owens. And Owens on the Killer Instinct has one in response. That's going to be all he gets, though, as the rest of the cleanup is there. And it's 5 kills to Divine alongside the first Drake of the game.
I love that so much, TJ. That was magnificent. I know I have this impression, or like people have this impression of me that I'm a negative Nancy. We're gonna have to hold that thought, though. We might see some fights.
It's all right.
All right, that's it.
You can be a positive pansy.
I can, and I will, right? I just like to see good League of Legends, good Wild Rift gameplay. That's what Divine is showing us. That team fighting, it was magnificent. Everyone did their job. No one held any spells. They blew everything, went all in, 5-0. Fantastic.
Tunnel back away. Zhao Qi, 3 players actually go for Boom. Challenging. Rift Herald will be summoned. Now a 3v3 and Gov's caught out by Quay as he just goes right through the fight, separating the support, landing the quickness knockup. Here comes the Mega
good, the
Inferno
kick.
Bomb, and it's not going to change anything because Len, with the kick, repositioned Tufts out of the Mega Inferno Bomb so they could find the kill underneath the turret. That was slick as heck.
It did two things, right? One, it doesn't allow the Mega Inferno Bomb to hit them. Two, it makes sure that Tufts is knocked up, is CC'd, so he cannot dunk. He had full stacks, he was trying to go for resets, but he couldn't dunk. And this is just so brilliant here for Divine. And this is also why on day one, we had the narrative, you cannot give Lan Lee Sin, the Lan Lee Sin will come and get you. That's exactly what we're seeing here today. And I'm happy to see this redemption arc.
Hope will walk forward here,
Look
and
at this.
Gov's in trouble. Gov's dead again. Owens under threat. Will barely survive as the first turret of the game will fall down here in the bottom lane.
I want to get your thoughts about this, TJ. Like, I think Divine are playing magnificent. This is so good. What do you think? I mean,
You
lose
can
the turret,
play
right, but
basketball against Len, but you can't dunk on him, if you know what I mean.
whatever. Fortunately, I do not.
This is exactly what I was looking for from Len. I mean, we talked about Len's Lee Sin. This is why he's considered one of the most dominant junglers in the region, in a very competitive region.
In the whole tournament, TJ.
You'd go that far. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I think he is definitely one of the best junglers in the whole tournament. Top 5 for sure.
And I think we need to have that conversation because when Len is on form, when he is playing a Lee Sin, he is ganking aggressive lanes, there is almost nobody that can compete with how much map impact he has. But he looks that good, and this is something you raise, because of how aggressive his laners play.
Correct.
Because they are oftentimes only seconds away from engaging themselves when he shows up to clean up lane.
Yeah, it's really good team play, right? They're always on the same page, and Tufts, he's not on the same page with his team.
He'll have to burn a flash and land behind the turret. Will find the kill. It's a desperate attempt to turn things around from Zhao Qi as he dives past the entire team with the Cataclysm. Him and Gov do isolate Hope One with a flash Feather Storm. He will not survive. And Quay is a little too far forward here as well. Mega Inferno Bomb will drop him low. Zhao Qi with the flash will find the kill. Now heroic entrance. Coyote joins the fight. Disadvantage. 2v3 for Divine. 2v4 as Owens flies in with the killer instinct. And Coyote and Len have to back away. The trade goes against Divine for the first time this game.
Yeah, and I think we have to be genuine here, right? We can't be disingenuous about what Divine are good at and what they're bad at. When they look good, they look so good. They're so on point, they're so in sync, their synergy is so good, their aggressiveness, their mechanics, all on point. What do we see right there? That was the counterpoint, right? That was peak bad Divine. They get overly aggressive, and teams in the Vietnamese region are all guilty of this to some extent, right? They get overly aggressive, they smell blood in the water, they dive without a numbers advantage. Han X was just chilling the dragon lane, and they get punished for it. This is normal, and this is part and parcel of what you would expect from some of these teams. They just need to learn how to tone it down, how to taper it off a little bit, and I think that they can be serious contenders for the whole title.
Just to touch on the game state as we do head into this next Drake, that misplay on the top side does not affect Divine's lead. This might, though. Overextension plays into the Mega Inferno Bomb. Quay, Tarnex, and Coyote have to get out of here, and Coyote's down very low. Quay, with a marvelous run through, will charm up the play and slow it down, but Coyote still dies. Hope One plays the aggressive, but finds nobody with the Feather Storm. And you've got the jungler dead. Zhao gone, but they have low health bars, and Boom are going to contest this. Pokes in with the bomb. Owens in trouble. Fly Arthur still chipping away. Hope One can't find the kill. Owens is able to get one. Owens still pressing through. He's got two. Drake, it is secure. It did go to Divine. Len manages to scoop it away in the middle of all that. Barely escapes with his life, but Boom cleaned up yet another team fight on over-aggression from Divine.
And TJ, we are just watching the land show right now. He kills Goth in the pit, he gets the dragon, and he gets out. Coyote, though, this is too much. Oh,
he's gone. He'll be tagged, but Len. Oh, 1v3. He's got two! Len, you're kidding me! Fly Arthur has to flash away, but Len kill. Only 3 just flashing down the mid lane.
At Boom Esports right now, next they're gonna be talking about what they want to do next game, and it starts with number 1. Let's ban Lee Sin. Let's not give Landis Lee Sin anymore. It's a little bit it's doing a little bit too much here. He's soloing the Baron basically by himself. Hope is not hit the Baron a single time. Oh, the dunk.
Tufts in the back lines has to flash to dodge the Featherstorm, but he does so. Hope One barely survives, but will do so. And that means that Divine have won the trade. They won't keep doing the Baron though. Their AD carry needs to reset.
Yeah, getting a little bit too low there. Rightfully should be a bit afraid. I mean, I think the main thing there is Tufts didn't manage to get the reset. Even if he did, I don't think he would have found too much out of it. Tufts right now going for a tankier itemization path as well. He's not having the best game. And I think this is a typical trend for Darius that we see as well, right? When you play against better teams, when you come into the team fights, despite how huge you may be, despite how farmed you may be, you just get CC'd up. Even if you get your stacks down, you don't have time to get the resets, and you just get bursted. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Tufts. Mid turret.
Mid turret will be poked here. Xiaoqi drawing focus away during this time. He's hit kind of late game Jarvan almost, so he's kind of a second frontline tank.
Yep. He's a full tank right now. I don't think he has a single damage item, so he just wants to go in, lock him up, be a beefy boy, but he doesn't really do too much here. You got to keep in mind that only Coyote and Hope One can really be locked in Cataclysm. Everyone else has easy ways to get out. Tan.
Fly Arthur, the focus here. Mega Inferno Bomb will be dropped on himself. Doesn't save him. Xiaoqi in with the Cataclysm. Will be chasing Len. Owens will get the kill. That's a pretty big shutdown. Over-aggression behind the turret. Divine are going to lose 2 players for it as Coyote goes down as well. And Owens is getting kind of big.
And TJ, what did we say, right? What's the counterpoint to how great Divine are? When they get bloodthirsty, when they start diving turrets for no reason at all, they had Fly Arthur, they could have backed off, they wanted more, and they just get punished for it.
At what point does it start really hurting them though? Because the gold lead here is still significant, don't get me wrong, but it's not nearly as large as it should be, particularly if you cast your eyes down to the bottom side of the screen, where Owens has a gold lead over his counterpart, Hope One, on Divine Esports. Owens is 1,000 gold ahead of Hope One.
And I think that's just because of where the gold has been funneled across the board, right? I mean, the gold lead as a whole, it's closing up. It's 4,000 gold right now. Divine were way ahead of that before they started throwing. The kill scores are evening up. And Hope One, he's been relegated to a bit of a supportive role here for his team, right? 2, 2, and 10. He's been handing the kills over to the true carry in LAN. But he's still gonna be pretty comfortable. I think he's gonna get 3 items right now regardless. So he should still be doing decent DPS.
So you're not worried for Divine yet? You're still feel pretty secure?
Look, TJ, that's a very loaded question. I think the answer is when you're cheering for a Vietnamese team, you should always be worried. for both them and their opponents, right? If they're
Absolutely.
behind, you never
be
know
worried
when
for
they're putting up
everyone.
a curve. Be worried for everyone all the time, constantly. Like right now, Coyote.
Who could say who's in trouble? Coyote
No one
versus Xiaoqi. Nobody knows who's really in trouble there. Len does land the Sonic Wave onto Xiaoqi. This is all, of course, around this next dragon, which will be the 3rd dragon of the game. Divine looking to complete this set with an Ocean.
And things are tense right now, right? Like, we should be worried, and I'm super worried. I'm cheering for Divine. I think they should be able to take it, but the problem is all the kills are on the Lee Sin, and there's a downside to that as well, right? He's not a champion that can really DPS in these fights. He has to find an angle, he has to find your backline, but if he does, Divine will pop off in the fight.
Len can start Drake.
Hope's going home.
I would too at this point. It's been a while. Hope hits the recall button, grabs some snacks. He'll be back from base in a moment. What was that? He completed Bloodthirster off that.
I think that's actually really smart. He's playing against a poke champion in Ziggs. He knows that Ziggs just wants to throw bombs at him. He's building Bloodthirster, so on every minion wave, he can just heal up the full again. I think that's a really smart call. It's a good adaptation given the game state, and I like it a lot.
So here we go. Now with Bloodthirster completed, the fight isn't going to get any better than this.
It's all about the Ziggs, right? It's all about the bombs. If you get them low enough, Darius can dunk and reset, Kai'Sa can dash in and kill. But we're going in.
Stolen Boom! Steal it away! Zhao Chi flies in! Carved out at the back of the fight, trying to slow down Tarnex. Can't save Owens. Tarnex finds 2. A double kill. So Boom's victory on the Drake is short-lived as they kite away across the map. They'll survive with 3 players, 2 players, as Tubbs gets nailed down behind the turret. Hope one's low,
healed.
but
They can beat this. They can beat
should
this.
not be chasing this. He does not have damage. Zhao goes in and just goes down.
Brilliant, brilliant. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. When Divine are playing well, their team fighting this game has been crisp. The only mistakes they've been making, if you look at how the goal has swung, right? The only 2 times that Boom found themselves back in the game was when Divine dived turrets for no reason whatsoever. And this time around, every time you look at the team fight, Divine, they are rolling Boom Esports. They're playing so extremely well, and I really love to see it.
And it leverages the strengths of Divine. When they can team fight, they look incredible. Tarnex, Len, some of the best team fighting players in this tournament.
Agree. Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, I think you guys don't give Tarnex enough credit. To me, I think that this guy is the key player on Divine. Every time you see him enter a team fight, he's a monster.
All right, well, let's be clear. I give Tarnex a lot of credit. You've been hanging out with Grandin too much.
That is true. I mean, look at this team fight, right? It's all about the Renekton show. Him and Coyote, right? They're all up in the back line. They're doing everything. Tarnex just cleans house. And I really like what Coyote did right there. He had a lot of presence of mind. He went in to dive for Tarnex, and then he noticed on the back line, hey, my back line is getting dived by Jarvan. I'm going to use Hero's entrance over there. This guy is all over the place. He's doing everything on the map. And I would normally say that, you know what, Coyote's not the star team. Oh, we see a team fight.
Yeah, starting off with Quay, just charming everyone. Wow. Hope one will be knocked up, trapped in the Cataclysm, but Owens is forced into stasis, so he's finding more value. Owens is gone. The AD carry deleted as Divine dived the fight and cleaned it up. This turret's gonna melt, and Divine have completed game number 1 of this series in clean fashion. Got a little risky in the mid-game, but they take the lead. 1-0 to Divine.
TJ, I kind of feel like clean